Good evening, everybody. Could you all hear me? Perfect. All right, tonight we're going to have a presentation. Good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Jamie Morales. I'm the Public Works Director for the town. It's a pleasure to me to be here presenting the Capital Improvement Project Workshop. Tonight is all about how we do or how we invest on Lake Park's infrastructure for the public safety, a long-term resiliency, and how we are leveraging or leverage our grant funds to reduce the impact on local taxpayer. So the purpose of tonight, we will share the town's capital improvement projects, explain how the projects are funded, highlight the community benefits and long-term value, and then gather your feedback and questions so we can continue improving how we plan and deliver these improvements. Why capital improvement projects matter? A capital improvement program is our multi-year plan for major improvement investment. These are not routine maintenance activities, so they don't cover nothing related to maintenance. This is just capital improvement. How do we improve our infrastructure? They highly impact to improve the public safety, reduce flood risk, protect the environment, and enhance quality of our life. The focus is on responsible stewardship, investing early to prevent failures and avoid higher costs later. How these projects benefits the community. These projects protect home, street, and public facilities for flooding and deterioration. They improve safety and accessibility for drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists. They also preserve park, historical assets, and assess infrastructure and essential infrastructure that residents rely on every day. How are they funded? It's very important. Since we have limitations sometimes on our local funding, right? So we pursue and we seek federal grants, state grants, or any grant available that can help us at least support or mitigate the impact, the financial impact or burden towards our current revenues. So local funding is used strategically to leverage large state and federal investment. Grants are competitive, so red lines, clear public benefits, and strong documentation matter. Our approach is to plan and design, document needs, and position projects to move quickly when construction fundings become available. So we have four major categories among our capital improvement projects. We literally separate them on environmental and utility infrastructure, transportation and mobility, civic facilities, and historical preservation of our facilities, and park and community assets. So we'll start with the environmental and utility infrastructure. This is the 10th Street green infrastructure. First, this project is between Silver Beach and Park Avenue. This corridor has long-standing stormwater drainage problems that contribute to road flooding, infrastructure deterioration, and unsafe conditions during heavy rainfall. Delivering a comprehensive green infrastructure and road improvements initiative to modernize stormwater management, improve roadway performance, and enhance pedestrian safety. As we all know, 10th Street needs it on that section. The road is really bad, it's deteriorated, plus the stormwater infrastructure within that section of the road needs also improvement, and this project directly addresses those deficiencies for our community. So investment snapshot. Right now we have $423,898 through the Department of Housing and Urban Development Mitigation Grant. This is part of the Southern Outfall Initiative. This is one of the legs of the four projects that make up that grant initiative. Right now we have secured those funds for design, We estimate the construction cost to be approximately $4.5 million to complete the project. The town has secured approximately $2.5 million and actively is pursuing the remaining construction funds through our competitive grants. And our next step is to close the funding gap and move to construction. So hopefully we could achieve that goal and we could complete this project. The next one is the septic to sewer project. This project is more direct towards the industrial zoning area. It's approximately 42 commercial properties that still have or rely on septic system, and we want to convert these systems to the septic to a sewer system, which will create environmental regulation compliance risk. The town's solution is to convert them, and it has an estimated cost of I went a little bit ahead, of $6 million. The town currently has secured $1 million from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. The remaining $5 million, which is the gap that we need to fulfill, we're still pursuing financial, let's say, search, grant, procurement to see if we can lock down that gap. The timing for this project is critical because the $1 million has a deadline that we have to at least be executing upon that $1 million by October of this current year, October 31st. So we are pursuing or seeking any additional grant money that we can find to be able to execute this project. Where 100% construction already has been completed, so we are ready to move to the construction phase, but we're seeking that additional fund that we need to at least mitigate that gap that we have for the $5 million. The next project is a multi-project stormwater improvement. This is the recent project that we had mentioned that has 3 components within the entire scope of the project. We're looking at 2nd Street North, Lake Park Elementary area, and the Elix Court section. These projects are more driven to have developed stormwater improvement capacities, but within a certain location. We're trying to focus this new strategy as similar to the bioswale, which are these underground chambers, or the similar concept that we use in Bird Boston Park, just to localize the retention of the storm water and treat them there and not contribute to the overall stormwater system. So this project is set to focus on the advance of modern drainage design and sustainability of stormwater practice to reduce the frequency and duration of flooding, improve roadway access and emergency response, and to protect public and private property. We currently have received, or not received, we were awarded, we haven't received it yet, a grant for a total of $397,311. And if I'm not incorrect, tomorrow we have the kickoff meeting with the grantor for these two grants that we have been awarded. These funds only support the planning and design only of these projects. So we will pursue for competitive grants for the construction phase. So as we move forward on the design, which we should be getting soon some preliminary designs, some concepts, we will have the input of the community and the commissioners to move forward then to finalize that design, to finalize the permitting, and to move to construction. So now we're going to go to the next category, which is transportation and mobility improvements. So the first project that we have within this category is Park Avenue. It's the lane reduction, or what we call road diet. This is from 7th Street to US 1. This is one of our central corridor that can experience high speed, elevated crash risks, and limit comfort for pedestrian and cyclists. The proposed solution is, like I said, the road diet, converting 4 lanes to 2 lanes with a center turn lane, enhanced pedestrian crossing, bicycle accommodation, drainage improvement, and on-street parking where feasible. The goal is a safer corridor for all users. The investment snapshot, this project is 100% as well designed, completed, ready for construction. The estimated cost for construction is $2.8 million. We have not secured any funding or grant source to further develop the construction of the road diet. Nevertheless, we remain searching through state or federal grant to see if we could procure any financials that can help us mitigate that. This project, if I'm not incorrect, we had mentioned to see if we could include it in the lab, FDOT lab, to see if we could get any further assistance or grant money to subside it. The next transportation project is the 10th Street Ovalabout. The 10th Street Ovalabout is the intersection on 10th Street on Northern Drive and Prosperity Farm Road. This intersection experiences congestions, inefficient traffic flow, and increased crash risks due to conflict movement. The Ovalabout designs improves operational, reduces conflict points, therefore increases safety and improves traffic flow. This project, we have a collaboration with the county on a leg section of Prosperity Farm, which is a county road, and they have a appealing to help us at a 25% of the project cost. Nevertheless, we need to find the additional resource in order for us to be able to construct or move into construction. Again, this project also is 100% design completed. We have not secured funding or any grant available for us to fill the funding gap, which is that $3.2 million. Nevertheless, the county has, like I said, has mentioned the appetite to contribute towards the project at 25% of the cost. Park Avenue Road extension. This is the extension from Park Avenue from Old Dixie Road towards Congress Avenue. This project will enhance the corridor, and the extension. We have 4 types, I believe, if I'm not incorrect, 4 proposed extension design options. Nevertheless, the county is still contemplating possibilities of developing further designs. This project is driven by the county. It's only, we're only part of the contribution because it directly benefits the town. But nevertheless, everything right now is in the design phase. As we move forward and they provide us additional information, we will know what will be a better option for the town and what will be the construction cost. But right now, everything is in the design phase and is driven by the county. The next category is civic facility and historical preservation. The first project that we have within this category is the Evergreen Restoration Project. This project matters because it addresses the deferred maintenance and aging building system and the limit access that accessibility threats the facility long-term viability. So we have a project that is currently taking place, and it will deliver a comprehensive restoration and renovation to the Evergreen House, which is more of the hardening of the building and improving the windows, doors, and accessibility within the building for the ADA compliance. The financial snapshot is estimated at $397 the cost for the renovation. We have secured $198,500, which is from the state historical grant. We have the same matching funds have been secured by the town, and we expect the project to be completed by June 30th of this current year. So hopefully by that time, we will have a fixed and improved Evergreen House. The next project within this category is the town preservation and compliance improvement. This is for this facility. We're going to improve the south and the north entrance, and we're going to develop some ADA compliance enhancement assessment fee or asset features to the building that can be that can move us towards the ADA compliance. We have completed the design phase on this project. We estimate the construction cost at $200K. We have not secured that additional funding, so we pursue to we continue to pursue to find any financial grant that can help us fill that gap. Next category that we have are park and recreation and community assets. So we have the Kelsey Park Splash Pad. This project is important because it has a heavily use of recreational space, serving families and children and caregiving years around. The lack of ages include water, play amenities, limit park usability during the warm month. So this project includes the design construction of a modern outdoor splash pad integrated into the existing Kelsey Park layout. Our contractor, or our engineering firm, has already preliminary designs for the splash pad. We are currently scheduling a community forum to get input from the community in terms of what they're proposing. After that, then we will present such recommendations to the commission for their feedback and input. And once we have further guidance on what we all have determined or selected that we want for the splash pad, then we'll pursue to construction. The estimated cost for this project is within $500,000. Funding secure, we do have $400K by the CDBG as the grant. We have a gap of 100 to make up for the overall construction cost, and the town have secured those funds. I believe it's in the public infrastructure fund, so we have identified those. So as soon as the design is finished, is completed, then we'll advance to the project to construction. The next project within this category is the Kelsey Park Fitness Trail equipment replacement. This is to replace the existing outdoor equipment that we currently have, which is outdated and literally deteriorating, so we need to replace it. The project includes placing 11 ADA compliance outdoor fitness stations that provide strength and cardio training opportunities. The investment snapshot for this project, we estimated to be able to install and replace all features at $150K. We have secured, again, by the CDBG grants, $400K. The gap is $110K or $1,000, and the town has identified that remaining gap within the public infrastructure fund. So once we have everything has been procured and the design is completed, then we can move to the installation or the construction phase. Any questions? Any questions that you may have? I have, I didn't print much, but I think that we have enough. Some additional information, because I know that when we present it's kind of short, but there's a project sheet that has more detailed information on how does it impact, why is it so important, what type of funding we have per occur at the moment. The installation or the construction phase. Any questions? And any additional information related to these projects. Besides these projects, we have ongoing maintenance or recurring projects that we're also working on. They don't fall within the capital improvement category, but as many of you have noticed, we're still doing sidewalk improvements. We start in a couple of months, or even next March, or the following March, we start doing road improvements. Unfortunately, we will see improvements within the CRA area more this year, because those were the only funds available for us to be able to move into the improvement section. Hopefully, with the bless of our Lord, we have the available funds for next fiscal year that we can identify other areas within the town that we can continue to improve. So, yes, sir.
Water Tower Road, badly need of asphalt. We will have a closed road the first time we get a rainstorm. The potholes at 15th Street and Water Tower Road are waiting for that intersection floods, and it always will. It is what it is. But the road's going to fall apart, and what are you going to do when it falls apart?
Okay, so just to clarify, Water Tower, you mean Water Tower East, or you mean the undeveloped right-of-way? Because there's no, west.
15th Street.
15th Street, so that's west. That's west. Okay. Well, we'll look at the road.
The road needs it needs traffic light at Old Dixie Highway. It's become a major thoroughfare to get away from Lake Park Road and to get away from Silver Beach, and it's all commercial. So when you get to Old Dixie, you sit there and too many people are trying to pull out.
And I agree. So what we could do is we could convey this message, because Old Dixie is a county road. So we could convey the message to the county to see if they have it within their studies or plan to develop any type of street signal light in that intersection. But since it's a county, we cannot drive that initiative unless we convey the message to them to see if they have it within their plan.
The paving is the town's.
Water Tower, yes. We'll address that, and we'll give you feedback on it.
It is about just shy of 30 years old, them streets in there. And it's a huge tax base. I don't know what we're waiting for.
I couldn't answer that question. Because remember, the road improvements are not based on taxes. So literally what we use is gas tax. And that's what gas tax, and you correct me, Barbara, if I'm incorrect, and we have discretionary funds that we could probably use for certain improvements. But typically your regular
CRA?
Taxes, CRA is different. CRA cannot do any road maintenance improvements unless it enhances the road. So funds
No pothole?
No, potholes are maintenance, regular maintenance.
It should have been taken care of.
Well, you are correct.
Okay. See what you can find out about that.
I will.
I'd like to know, because I'm a major property owner down there.
Absolutely.
The other thing of it is putting sewer systems in a commercial area. It's great. I didn't hear anything about the landowners putting a portion of the money into it.
Well, So, okay, so the project has two, let's say, two different legs. We have the public side of it, which is the town, and then we have the private side of it, which is property owners connecting to the system. That portion is still under discussion of how we would pursue, because there's been multiple conversations statewide to see if there is any venue that we can pursue funding to help property owners make that connection. But in the greatest of world, and the reality is that property owners may have a responsibility upon financing their connection to the main line. So we will take care of the public infrastructure that is within the right-of-way, but property owners will have, or we could find, we're trying to find other means to help, they will have to finance their contribution towards the connection. Whether it is with an assessment, a special assessment, so I mean, they'll have a few years. Some could go from short to 6 years to 10 years to 15 years. It all depends on how the methodology is determined. But that's an option.
Do you have the staff to take away or to maintain this new drainage
So once we build,
swales that you're doing?
so once we build it, we hand it to Seacoast, because we don't maintain,
It was a new question, the drainage.
Oh, drainage. I'm sorry.
Drainage in these swales with plants. Do you have the staff to maintain them?
Yes and no. So, in a normal circumstance that our swales should be designed and created, I could say yes, because if they just would have the regular grass that's within the soil of the swale, you could go and rough cut it. You could do a rough cut. Now, typically here in Lake Park, there's a lot of trees that have been planted within our swales, which they create a challenge for us to be able to maintain all the swales as we require. Why? Because we will have to have a specialized team that needs to come in, do the regular mowing, then we have to trim trees, then we have to, or shrubs, or whatever is planted within the swales. So those are elements that we all have to take in consideration when we calculate the cost associated to maintain something that currently is not functioning as it has been designed. Now, maybe if you're relating to the bioswales, which are within sections of what we call is Park Avenue Extension, right? That is totally different, because when that section of road was developed, and I was not here, this is my professional experience that I could probably convey, is if the developer built that section of the road because it was a necessity for the town, that serves as a fee, and he could build it, but then he hands it to the town. So in essence, since the road is ours, we should be maintaining. But I don't know if there was a condition or a agreement within that development portion. So to give you the short answer, right now, we are preparing to assume such a maintenance responsibility, but in essence, I couldn't say that we fully approved it or agreed upon it, because it was based on a development process. A developer developed that section of the road.
I had to take care of it for 2 years. I got the town to take care of it once, the last time. Hopefully they'll maintain it from now on out. But now you're getting ready to build more of them.
When you mean bioswales?
Yes.
Well,
And it's got a tag that's going to follow you.
well, it is. So so let's put it this way. Yes, it is a bioswale, but in that section, we just have the landscaping component of that bioswale, right? On 2nd Street, we have the landscaping bioswale, right? But in ground, we have chambers that help us, right, reduce that storm water, which we're trying to contain in the area, treat in the area. So it has a totally different purpose of what we're calling bioswale on Park Avenue Extension. Pretty much they just put the landscaping. The landscaping is just, it just grows exponentially, creating like a small burden. But it doesn't have the elements that Second Street has, which has additional components that help us treat water in the area. So that's totally different. You're welcome.
Two questions. So a couple years ago, there was a streetscape plan developed for both Park Avenue and 10th.
That's correct.
And we were kind of promised like incremental, every year we'd invest a little bit in the streetscaping. And I didn't see that project or projects in the presentation here. Is that still active?
So we have we have a concept of 10th Street, but we didn't include it here because 10th Street has a couple of elements that are moving towards the development of 10th Street. So we have the oval about, then we have the 10th Street green infrastructure. On those two projects, we haven't yet secure funding to complete those projects. So we said, why do we want to move towards the design of the which we have concept, but we don't have preliminaries. We don't have nothing 30% or 60% on 10th Street, the streetscape, if we don't have the money to build it. So we don't want to continue to invest on designing something that once we have the design ready, then when we're going to implement it, we don't have the money to implement it. And as we look to the horizon, and 10th Street is getting improved, and there's a lot of changes. If you design something now, and you don't have the money to implement it, and there's been changes within the corridor, once you secure money to move forward, then you have to revisit your design and now say, oh, now I have to modify my design, so I have to invest or spend more money and modify something that you already have designed because you have altered the corridor. So it's to me, it's better to wait. Let's finish everything that we have. Once everything has been completed, built, then if there's no future modifications within the corridor, okay, now it's a good opportunity to now develop, design, and implement the landscaping on 10th Street.
Okay, I do remember them picking out pavers and plants. It felt like at least a 30 or 60% design that we were at.
Well, just like I said, the corridor is going to...
This is the other side.
North. From Park Avenue, north, yes. So it's like the oval about. So hopefully if we move forward with the oval about, that will impact, if we do the streetscape now and the oval about comes, then we're not doing ourselves a favor because we're investing on something that it may have to be altered because the oval about will overcome it. So to me, it's better to address the safety factor first, and then we beautify it.
Who's negotiating with the county that they're only 25%?
So the way that the county looked at the project was that from the 4 roads that have the main impact, 3 are within the town jurisdiction, governmental jurisdiction, and 1 is county jurisdiction. So I assume that was the logic that they used of how would they do their 25% contribution to the project. 10th Street is the town.
All the way to North Lake?
Yes, so 10th Street completely is it's all town. It's all town jurisdiction. The only thing that is county is Prosperity Farm. That's the only county.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got out of that.
All right, and second comment, you had a great segue into it. It's more for the leadership in the room, but the roof on my house is very old, and Florida has a My Safe Home grant program or something like that. And we've been waiting for years and years to actually get money out of that. And at some point, you just have to realize those grants aren't coming. So I would like to see more money invested in public infrastructure, even if it means a small increase in taxes to actually fund some of these projects. Obviously not all at once, not the most expensive one first, but just some kind of increased investment when it comes time for budget season.
Any other question? Any other question?
Regarding the 10th Street Ovalabout and the road diet, the project phase you said was, bless you, project phase was design complete. Are these designs available somewhere for the public to take a look at and review where they stand now?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Where are they?
Yes. We have them at our shop. We have them available, and yeah, they're public records requests, and it's all available.
Okay,
Yes.
that's it, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi. This is all good. I really appreciate you putting it together. I kind of think that you can divide it into what the residents can see and use and experience. And then the other things are unseen but necessary, the infrastructure, the things underground and that sort of thing. Is there any way that they can be a list of priorities of what might happen that we can look forward to in the near future and what, is going to be quite some time? It looks like the splash pad would be almost funded, so that will be, you said, be done soon, right?
That is correct. So
yeah, and there was something else, too, that was just about fun. Oh, the Kelsey House. That's pretty well taken care of. The road diet that's been on an issue for a long time. And I appreciate when you explain that if you make these things so far, you put together a plan and you spend $250,000 on that plan, and then years go by, things change. And maybe there's a better way that wasn't on that original plan. Would that mean that you would have to, if you have doubts about the original plan, that you would have to spend another $250,000 to find out? Or can they be altered? I don't know who would be the one that would put the plan together and say, this is good. Do we want this? I don't know whether we could do it in the town, or whether we have to go out on another one of the expensive studies. Because a lot of these studies get done. We could spend the money that we spend on the studies on the project, and it would move them along a little bit quicker, I think. What do you think?
So the answer to your question is yes and no at the same time. So it all depends on, when we're in the field and we're developing a project, as you mentioned, if we design something today and we want to build it tomorrow, well, then you have all the elements, right? The environment, the elements, and the design is talking to you and telling you what you need to do and how to build this. And you go ahead and build it. But when we design today and we don't build into 2 years or 3 years in the future, hypothetically, right? Or five, they may be changes within the environment. They may be new development. They may be new infrastructure that we have even approved other developers or utility companies to be able to implement, to introduce, to place within the scope of the project, right? So when we resume, now we want to execute upon these designs of this project, and we go and we have to do a field assessment before we start construction, because we have to ensure that everything is as it was when we designed, so then we can execute. And we encounter these changes within the environment. Then we have to stop, we have to look at the plans, and we have to revisit and maybe it won't require a huge change in the design, but some change will take effect, and that will have to be engineered again and have to be the engineer's objective, unless there's something minimum that we can address. But rather than that, then it has to be relooked.
Would it be possible, do you have some idea about a timeline or a priority which would be done first on some of these projects? And also, some of them have zero grant money. Is there a way that maybe we could work on grants a little more, on the ones that you have here? These are all good. And do you consider adding new things to this, or is this what you want to accomplish before you add more projects?
So the question to your answer, Taylor, is that we would like to execute upon what we have right now, even though we will continue to envision and look at what we need to address and what needs to be done. But for us, our first priority, the closest alligator to our foot, like I say, is let's get these projects completed. Let's work to complete these projects. We are looking, researching, we're touching bases with a lot of state agencies to see if we could find grant. Literally, we are trying as much as possible. Sometimes we're not the only community that have needs. We put in applications, and it all depends on what is the cost benefit for the grantor in terms of impact, how many citizens are we impacting with our project in comparison to other communities. And sometimes we're successful. I have to say that we have been successful. But in other means we haven't, because other communities have higher priorities.
Competition.
But we continue to try to find funding so we get at least.
Yeah, thank you very much. And
You're
then
welcome.
I appreciate this, and I'll pass it on because people want to know what's going on. And there's a lot going on here. And I think they would like to, as soon as they start seeing a few things, then they'll appreciate it. Thank you, Jamie.
And the information is going to be available. I'm gonna talk to Lamar so we can post the information online. The presentation will be online, and also the project sheet, so anybody can access that information. And they're more than willing to contact me if they need any information on it. Yes.
I want to applaud the town for the ability that they've had to have projects designed, ready to go, so they were grant available. Because without them ready, you don't get anything.
That's absolutely right.
And, you've done very well as a community, and will continue, because you've got the stuff ready to go.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other comments? Questions? Is there anything I could do to improve, or any information I could probably offer in the future? I would like this to be something that we can share, like probably not quarterly, but every two times a year, biannually, that we could probably provide the community with updates. But I'm willing to hear your feedback if you believe that there is anything that we can add to make it more appealing, to make it more friendly user, to communicate better to the community. By all means, let me know.
Yes, one more comment, since
Absolutely.
you're asking for some more.
Yes.
I sound like a broken record, but I've talked to you about this before, and everybody else, about putting a compost down by the fire station so that residents can access it to work on their gardens and around their trees and things. It's free. It's something that's free. All we need is okay. And then we've done it before, and you just put orange fencing around it, and then they dump. One of your contractors here, or whether it's another tree trimmer, but you kind of have to specify you don't want a bunch of palm fronds in the mix. But the wood chips down at the park are lovely. That would improve the town if people had access to that. I think they would go down and take their recycling bin, fill it up, and it would be a useful, free gift. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks.
You're welcome,
Is that
Commissioner.
possible?
I cannot commit to it, but I'll look into it.
Okay.
Any further comments or questions? Well, if there's no further comment or questions, then thank you again for coming and being part of hearing us and being part of the town and your interests are the best of the town. Thank you. Thank you very much.